All right. What is going on, everybody? This is the first organized live stream we've done.
kind of organized.
So the last two we did were kind of beta tests. Today we are full bore. So I'm Mike with Audio Arkitekts. Right here, I got my partner in crime, my PIC, Giles with JDM World. What's going on, Giles?
What's going on? Hold on. I'm not totally ready with my little thing here. Hang on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jeez,
there we go. All right. Now I feel complete, like a whole human.
It's not a stream if you don't do that, you know.
It's not. And then I was gonna say I'm proud to introduce one of our guests that has dropped by, but she won't turn her video on.
It's not happening.
It's so weird.
I'm sorry, I found out about this 5 minutes ago.
She's a pulsating ball.
Isn't that better anyways?
Anyway, can you introduce yourself just so people know who you are?
I am Pauline Ortiz-Pino. I am the U.S. Operations Manager for Alcons Audio. We are a professional loudspeaker manufacturer that is based in the Netherlands. We specialize in Pro Ribbon technology. You can check us out at alconsaudio.com.
Man, you're like a pro at that. You got that thing down.
How do you do that? It's just that. Because it takes me at least 3 takes to do I'm Mike with Audio Arkitekts. So
Mike, he has a hard time with his name. He's like, I messed it up.
So I'll tell you what, today the topic is going to be the top 5 ways to improve your home theater. So for the people that are already watching or are going to be coming in, we'll be trying to announce that throughout the stream so that way everybody can get caught up. But yeah, Alcons, I actually sat in at your display in Cedia, your theater setup, and I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away. I remember it now. I was actually thinking about it. I was thinking, because you have a similar name to that 132-inch sub thing that I was standing next to. So I don't know if that was that or a different thing, but no, it is what I thought it was.
Okay.
And your setup blew me away. Absolutely insane.
What clip do you remember the most?
I don't.
No.
I just remembered after I left.
I don't either, actually. Remember the clips.
Giles was over at Start Geeking Out, and he's like, "Go check out Alcon." So I waited in line, and it took a little bit to get going. But once it got going, I remembered it's just the immersive sound was incredible. I was like, wow, this is a serious setup. I actually don't tell Klipsch I said this, but I actually preferred your setup to the Klipsch setup that was there as well. Yeah. I enjoyed the sound more. Not that the Klipsch was bad or anything. I thought the Klipsch did a great job. They do a great job at whatever they do. But I just from a home theater standpoint, I thought Alcons took the cake of the whole Cedia.
Well, you know why, right? You know why Alcons just is awesome when they do this?
Why?
Because their entire purpose in life is to build sound systems for the stage and for commercial cinema. So this is the real deal stuff.
Yeah, it's pro audio.
Yeah, it's super pro. I got a chance to go over to what is it? VW48.
Oh, the VFW, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the VFW in Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
And you guys built a full-blown theater there. I mean, it's like the real deal, whole thing going on. And it is.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's big.
It's huge. It's like a 500-seat stadium arena thing. It's really nice. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. I remember Giles raving about that for a good week. He was telling me about it, and I'm like, dude, I gotta go check it out.
Yeah, they put on some good parties.
Oh, and then the master projectionist there, I can't remember his name, but he was super cool. It was a great experience to be able to check that out. But we have a show to do, and we have a schedule that we have to stick to. And I've put that schedule in the notes in YouTube on my channel, and I'll get these in all the other channels as well. But we're covering the top 5 tips. I mean, there's a million things you can do, but these are the ones that we want to talk about tonight. And we're going to do these every 10 minutes or so, and we'll move on. And the first one is, I need a drum roll. I don't know that I got a drum roll. I need a drum roll. The first one is multiple subwoofers. Now,
dude, SBS is missing out right now. They should have came in.
I know. I sent SVS an email 5 minutes before we started, and I was like, hey guys, you want to come to this thing? And I'm sure they're like, what? I guess it's like we're trying, we're just getting everything together at the very end so we can be ready. Yeah, so one of the most common upgrades that people perform to really improve their theater experience is to add a sub, right? So if you're not running a sub yet in your theater, that is one of the most impactful things that you can do. But when you run one subwoofer, you run into all kinds of problems, right? So room modes will eat you up. And what that means for the folks that are not initiated into subwoofer tuning yet, and you will be if you're listening to this, is that in certain areas of the room, your bass will be louder than other areas. So you get these nulls, right? So where you get reflections and cancellation of sound, all these things kind of work together to make things not loud as you want them to be evenly across your listening positions. And the most common way that people combat that is to use multiple subwoofers positioned around the room. And then if you want to get really, really jiggy with it, I think I'm dating myself. Let's get jiggy with it. You'll then go in and tune subwoofers, right? And
Giles is pre-jiggy.
I'm pre-jiggy. I don't even know what jiggy is anymore. And Will Smith, he's like,
neither does Will Smith.
He's like gray now. He's like an old dude. And I'm like, I'm an old dude too. Oh,
right.
Hey,
happens.
Real quick, I didn't want to interrupt you, but we had a quick question a few minutes ago from, I can't pronounce that. What is pro ribbon technology as opposed to normal ribbon technology?
I was actually just going to the website just to drop in a link because that's a long answer.
That's like a whole show, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I do like that he's rolling the BMW, the Bowers Wilkins thumbnail for his image.
So yeah, if you want to, Miss Pauline, if you want to drop a link for him.
He called you Miss Pauline.
Everybody calls me Miss Pauline. That's awesome. You're right on time, man.
Drop him a link and let him discover it for himself.
How do I do that?
Just put it in the comments.
Yeah, in the comments.
You should be able to. There should be a button that says comments on the right hand side.
It says live comments.
And then at the bottom it should say.
I don't think she can comment unless she's logged in.
Oh no,
maybe not. Yeah, you can just go to the Facebook or the YouTube, well, probably the YouTube, and post a comment in there, and it'll get.
So he came from one of our YouTubes, so
okay, gotcha.
We're all over the place.
Yeah, we're today we're streaming 5 different places. So
holy mackerel! Okay.
Yeah, so we're doing Audio Arkitekts, we're doing Power Sound, JDM World, then Home Theater Fanatics on Facebook, and Audio Arkitekts on Facebook. And I have no idea how this looks on Facebook right now. I just may not even be working.
Probably beautiful.
Well, let's see. Hold on. Oh, we got stats here. I'll read the stats. Facebook Audio Arkitekts 1, Facebook Home Theater Fanatics 6, YouTube Audio Arkitekts 1, JDM World 4, Power Sound 0.
Dude, no, but there's no love for Power Sound.
Okay, we have Facebook user says looks decent. Hey,
Facebook
there we
user.
go. It's a very private person.
Hello, Facebook user.
Yes, very private person.
We're happy to have you. Okay, so I totally interrupted Giles on his dual subwoofer tangent. So, with Giles was where were you at?
So we were talking about the first thing. Number one. I can see I can focus on my finger. One.
Nice.
Is multiple subwoofers because you can smooth out your response across all of your well, maybe not all of them, but more than one subwoofer will help you create a consistent bass experience across your listening positions, right? So you got a big sofa or 2 rows of seats or something. One sub is going to be really, really hard to really give you a consistent experience. Facebook user is confused. He or she or they don't know why his, her, or their info doesn't show up. He or her have never seen that before.
So to get on topic here, so I think what Giles is trying to say is, a lot of people, let's say you're only running one sub and you're wondering why the guy at the end of the couch is complaining that he can't hear any bass, that's why he can't hear any bass. So the fix for that is to increase your amount of subwoofers along with doing measurements. So the measurements and the subwoofers are two different things. So let's just talk about the subwoofers real quick. A person like Giles, he runs anywhere from 13 to 24 subwoofers in his.
One of those people, and they're all at least 42-inch subs.
Yeah,
and Alcon doesn't make anything big enough for me.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Kevin Stork it up in the house. GSG audio, yo.
His ears must have been ringing because I was actually about to talk about GSG. Ooh.
I don't know why he's not up in this broadcast, though.
Yeah, get in here, Kevin.
Do you need the link, Kevin? I thought I sent you the link. I'll send you the link. Mike, you talk, and I'll send links.
Okay, sounds good.
I can do that.
So, okay, there's another comment. I am more into music and prefer 2 subs between and slightly behind the front and right speakers, emulating timpani in a symphony orchestra. That rhymed. Okay, so cool, right on. I actually enjoy 2 subs in the home theater setup I have here at the house. We have 2 12-inch rails and an 18-inch Ultimax in the back, so we're surrounded by bass. And where I was going to mention GSG is that a lot of people have started building their own subwoofers as opposed to buying one at the store or whatnot. And GSG Audio definitely offers a cool DIY flat pack, several DIY flat packs, to be able to build your own setup. And where you get the advantage there is depending on what you want to accomplish with your bass. If you're more into movies, obviously you might go bigger because you want to hear those explosions in a different way. Or if you're more into music, like I really want to know how to pronounce his name. If you're more into music, I think that
come on 10-6 4 ank or bikinimum.
It's Tiberius.
No, it has to be
Tchaikovsky. Tiberius Tchaikovsky. Yeah.
That has to be Russian.
You can't read your Cyrillic. We don't have the language skills.
Hook
us up with a English name that we can call you. We want to be able to have a name for you so we can remember you.
He's like Tom.
that would be totally fine. Anyway, sorry. We'll call him Tom.
We'll call him Tom for now. 21-inch. So Tom was talking about 21 inches. Giles has a 21-inch downstairs, right?
I do have a 21-inch downstairs.
Stop it! This is a children's show, okay?
You heard it here. Giles has a 21-inch downstairs.
Okay,
look at my color.
I was gonna say something. I'm not gonna say anything.
I don't know in what form of 20. Okay, so he's got a 21-inch situation downstairs, and I've heard it, and I think it's insane. It actually
like my 21-inch situation.
Yeah, your 21 inches extracted my soul from my body for a brief moment in time. And we tried it with different movies because I wanted to try it with Ready Player One because I think that's a really good movie to test out your whole system, because there's a scene where they're in their race cars, the very first racing scene, and it just hits so many highs and so many lows when the gorilla is just slamming around, boom, and then it has, when they're collecting the coins, you can hit those really nice highs. So it's a good way to see the dynamic and the expanse of your system. But I'll let Giles take over from here because I think he wanted to talk more about subwoofers. Get out of there.
Look at that.
Get me back to normal.
I don't know how to do it for anybody else, but I can totally do it for me.
Dude, yeah, I'm gonna start losing.
So while we're talking about 21-inch subs, we got Kevin in the comments down there, and he says he's working with John on the new subs we're releasing, but I'm enjoying the live stream. 21 is king. I agree with all those things. So Kevin and GSG Audio, I guess he's the S in GSG Audio. They are the wizards of the home theater DIY subwoofer world at this point. And all of my subs started their lives on a CNC machine in Southern California. So I'm very thankful to those guys for creating such cool products. But yeah, so we're going to have to move on out of subwoofers here. But to kind of close up, the first thing that you can do, buy a second subwoofer. And if you don't have a subwoofer, buy 2. And if you have 2, buy 3. And if you have 3, buy 4. And if you got 4, upgrade them all to 21-inch Devastators from GST Audio. Or if you want to go and spend some cash and get a pro device, Alcon's has a pretty sweet 18-inch sub that I was looking at that might fit behind my screen. I don't know. That you know what I'm talking about? Ortiz? I'm going to call you Ortiz.
Oh, God.
That's right, though. That's literally correct, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a part of your name, the
Yes.
Ortiz.
Yes.
So, but you guys offer a number of shallow form factor, large subwoofers that are pretty thunderous, right?
We do, yes.
Yeah.
We have a 21-inch actually too, a single 21-inch
What?
CB211
What?
SL. Yeah, it's a larger format shallow subwoofer system.
What?
Yeah. You should check out our C series. We got some pretty cool stuff.
What? I just got the vape.
She's been holding out. Man.
I mean, 21 inch. Oh God. I've only got one, but having more than one would be okay. All right. So yes, multiple subwoofers,
Yes.
REW, get a UMic 1 and a mini DSP 2x4 HD, tune that stuff up, and that will vastly improve your experience for a number of people in your room. So that's number 1. All right, moving on to number 2. And we don't have anybody to represent.
Change the view because I don't like being.
You don't like that? Yeah.
Oh.
Hold on. I'll make you really hate it.
Oh my God!
Oh, you hate that one.
I'm never gonna do a live stream with him again.
There we go. It's okay.
Pauline, you can come on my show and we can talk. And
I guess to close out subwoofers, VBSS. The VBSS means like the value buster super subwoofer or something like that. It's like a really inexpensive subwoofer. I think that uses 12s. I can't remember. There's a specific product that folks would buy for that because it was a really low price subwoofer and you could get some really good performance out of it. I've never built a VBSS. That might be something down the road to take a look at, but I am fairly unfamiliar with them other than knowing that they exist out there. Okay, so number 2, second thing you can do to improve your home theater. Mike, do you want to do it? You want me to do it?
This is more your domain, so I kind of want to let you do it.
All right. That's it. Value buster subwoofer system. Number 2 is moving away from an AVR to separates. And if you're not familiar what that is, separates is when you take, so just imagine you got an AVR, right? Just any of the normal kind of consumer commercial kind of things, like a Denon or Marantz or Yamaha or an Onkyo, or, they're all kind of the same, right? And inside of this box, you've got all your HDMI crap, right? And then all your amplifiers, they're just jammed in this one box. And it limits your ability to change your amplification sometimes. If you want to get new features, you have to buy everything over again. And then there's a lot of talk these days, especially in the last week, of how the sound quality coming from a integrated AVR, audio video receiver that has amplification and all of your HDMI matrix and all that stuff is lower. I think you should Google this up because there's been a huge amount of talk about it, and just about every other YouTuber than me has dropped a video talking about the new Denon 2020 AVRs that have pre-pro mode, right, where you can turn off the amplification and just use it as a pre-pro and not have all that circuitry running. So the idea is if you want to take that next step, you can buy separate amplification and a separate processor, right? And that will give you flexibility to, like I said, change your amplification down the line, upgrade your processor if you want to, although you should buy a processor that's upgradable. Strongly recommend that.
I have a question for Pauline. Pauline, in front of your setup at Cedia, you had these amplifiers with the eyeball thing in the front.
Yeah.
What were those?
Those are Sentinel amplifiers.
Were they pretty crazy? Because I like the eyeball. I took a picture of the eyeball. I took a picture of the whole thing. Because I'm like, dude, these things they look like the what's that thing from Lord of the Rings, the Eye of Sosaurus? Or
Sauron.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. You are out. How do I remove him?
Hey.
Ortiz, push that button. Get him out of here.
Daenerys Targaryen will Dracarys you. Okay. But yeah, I thought that was cool. And that was running your whole situation, right?
That's running the powering the speakers. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the amp. It's not a processor.
Right.
So, then I'm kind of new into what Giles was just talking about. Okay. So I've been learning from him. And now, obviously now I understand what a processor does and what an amplifier does. But at first I'm like, Giles, what do you need that for? I thought you already had an AVR. He's like, well, dude, come into this world, come into this crazy world of home theater. And
let me show you the way.
I know. He showed me the way into his 21-inch subwoofer.
Oh, Lord.
My 21-inch situation downstairs.
Yeah.
I took you by the hand and took you downstairs.
Dude,
I took you to my
horrible
leisure room.
So, Giles, I want you to answer a quick question. What is the advantage? Give me like 3 selling points as to why I wouldn't want to buy an AVR and I'd want to go processor and amplifier.
Sure. I can give you more than that, but number 1, sound quality. I think it is now, if it wasn't before, accepted that you're going to get higher sound quality out of a separate amplifier and pre-pro, right? So you can pick the devices that you want. You're not going to have to cut any corners, and you can pick the exact power output that you need. You can pick the exact features that you need, and that's what I did, right? So I moved away from a Denon. I know. People will send me emails and they'll be like, "You said that the wrong way." I guarantee you, it's coming.
I'm gonna actually wait the time to send you an email saying you said Denon the wrong way.
Oh, they do. I'll get a lot that, and I know I say it wrong. Sorry.
Shame on you.
So I had a 4400H.
Find a hobby.
I had a 4400H in my theater, and I wanted 16 channels so that I could do 9.1.6, right? And so I upgraded to an Acurus Muse, which is awesome. It is
shout out Acurus.
Come on, Acurus. Whoop whoop. I talked to the Acurus folks earlier tonight, and they're like, we would come on, but it's really late.
Oh.
Well, they're in Indianapolis, so I understand.
They're in where?
Indianapolis.
Oh,
I'm in Bloomington. I'm only an hour away.
You guys should talk to each other.
Apparently.
Yeah. They make really good processors. They make the Act 4, which is 20 or 24 channels, and the Muse, which is 16, and they're just, they're badass. They sound really good. Anyway,
okay,
yeah. So
real quick, Facebook user asked, so if it's best to begin with separates, where should one start?
See, that's a chicken and the egg question, right?
It is.
Most people, okay, if I were going to start out and I wanted to build up over the years, I would start out with an AVR that has a set of pre-outs, right? So you can take those RCA cables or XLR cables if you want to down the road and add an external amplifier. And then once you get your external amplification, then you can upgrade your AVR to a processor, and then you got separates, right? Now, if you want to go all in, you can take, and for $13,000 about, you could buy a Muse plus 2 of their M8 amplifiers and have 16 channels of amplification and a 16 channel pre-pro and be a super baller from the beginning. And I was hoping Spare Change would drop by because he'd be able to tell us all about the Trenov Altitude 16, which is awesome.
Just to expand on Facebook user, Emotiva Bass X is probably a good way to start if you're looking for more bang for your buck. I know their Bass X line is relatively inexpensive as far as this world goes. I know I was actually looking at one of their amplifiers, and it was, what was it? Wasn't it like around $500-600? So their stuff is actually like relatively inexpensive. I'm not going to call it cheap because I know Emotiva makes a really nice product. So it's inexpensive and it's a good entry level way. I guess that is a good example of an entry level situation to get into if you're going to be getting into that world.
Yeah, right on.
Right.
I totally had something planned to say and it's completely gone now.
Good.
But in any event, number 2 is move to you wanted 3 things, and I was going to give you 2 more. I think we covered.
You said sound quality. You said
sound quality upgradability,
Upgradability, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's both for the pre-pro and for your amplification. And then the third item, really, I got to circle back around to that sound quality because it just is a marked difference. I can't emphasize the difference. I mean, and Ortiz knows. I'm sure she's done separates before, and she knows what's going on. But I've got two testers at home, my children, and so when I swapped out the Denon for the Muse plus a Stark sound amplifier and a M8 from Acurus, the Stark Sound A7, which is amazing.
Melbourne hi-fi chick. What's up?
Going on, Vicky?
Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it.
Where do you need the link? You should totally come in with us. We got room for 3 more people.
Cereal.
We need 3 more people in here. But I can't say enough about the Acurus gear and the Stark sound amplification, especially since it's Class A for the first 50 watts, which is just bomb sound. I mean, until you have pure Class A amplification running your home theater, you haven't lived. Just like audiophile home theater. I mean, yes, those two worlds can come together, and that's where they meet with Stark sound.
I'll tell you what, just to expand on that real quick. We tested some speakers out. Giles and I were doing a video a while back, and I brought over a pair of speakers that I had heard on something that I had at my house. And then he played them on this Class A amplifier, the A7 from Stark Sound. And I asked him, I'm like, is there another speaker running? And he's like, no, those are your speakers. I'm like, there's no way. That's a whole nother speaker. And that's the kind of difference, the audible difference. And I'm always about audible differences. That's why I don't buy into a lot of hype. But if I can hear a substantial audible difference in something, then I'm sold. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as Class A amplification goes, if I could afford it, I would have it. That's basically it. Go for it, Giles.
Awesome. Yeah, send Vicky a link so we can get her in here. And then, so just a couple of comments before we move on. You'd think that the noise floor would be lower noise floor would be evident as separates. I can't talk anymore. I agree with that. I think that's good. Mike, you just went dark.
Where'd you go?
Did I go dark?
Yeah, you're like almost there. You go.
There you are.
Back again.
Oh, I was trying to send links, dude. You're killing me.
All right. Oh, and then Facebook user says, well, that's because Dan Wiggins is the man at Stark. You are absolutely correct. Dan Wiggins is like a modern miracle maker. And I had no idea, but I use a ton of products from Dan. My in-ear monitors are Periodic Audio by Dan. I've got a Blue microphone by Dan. I have speakers in my home theater and my living room.
Wait, Dan did the Blue by the Yeti?
I'm not sure if it's the Yeti or not, but he did stuff for Blue for sure. And I think it was the Yeti.
Damn,
and I know when he podcasts, he uses a Yeti.
I didn't know who I was dealing with but dude, we had him on the show, and I would have totally fanboyed out if I would have known all that.
Yeah, he's really good.
Treated him like everybody else.
And then I think he used to do back in the day a bunch of car audio stuff. I don't know.
Dude, Dan is the man, though. I like him. He's cool.
Right on.
Okay, so let's stick to our schedule.
To the schedule.
I'll take on the next one because I like the subject. Okay, so number 3 on how to improve your home theater will be adding Atmos to your system. So basically, for those of you that don't know what Atmos is, but I'm going to assume that most of you do, but if whoever doesn't know what Atmos is, it's basically surround sound for your ceiling. So as it's layman's terms, I didn't know the advantages until we added it here in the home theater at the house. And wow, like if the movie is filmed and the digital track movie is ready for this stuff, you can literally hear, like, let's say a plane is flying from point A to point B, you will hear the full spectrum of sound from point A to point D. And I think it's an advantage because you're just making your stuff sound better. That's the basic way I could put it. Adding Atmos is making your stuff sound better. Now, adding Atmos is a difficult task because you have to run a lot of wires. You have to get inside your ceiling. You could tell us a little bit about the experience you had, Giles, with adding your Atmos to your theater.
Yeah. So
it was easier for us to do it because you've seen our stuff.
Yeah, well, so this kind of plays off of, number 2 of going separates and upgrading your processor. A lot of people might not have a processor that's capable of doing Atmos. They might have like a 7.1 or a 5 dot processor that just doesn't have enough channels, but you can upgrade to a discrete processor that'll do 16 channels or 13 channels or whatever you need. And then you can get those height. Well, they're not really heights, they're tops for the most part. But Atmos is by Dolby, and in your master audio tracks that you see on Blu-rays, they'll have Dolby Atmos object information embedded in the soundtrack, and that will allow you to take advantage of those speakers in the ceiling, and it gives you more of a spherical effect of the sound, right? So you get the sounds that can move around above you and then to the sides. Now, as far as installation goes, it's a lot of cutting holes in your ceiling or surface mounting on the ceiling and running cables, right? Some people will just go straight up ghetto and be like, okay, I'm stapling the speaker wire to the ceiling.
No.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and I respect that.
Dude, come on.
If you got to do it, you got to do it. And I'm not a hater.
It's
not
a clear
hating.
divide here.
You might as well duct tape a boombox to the ceiling and just call it a day.
If that's the only way you can get Atmos, I support it, because Atmos is a big deal. It's
Dude,
a big deal.
You are a huge proponent of Atmos. I'll tell you what.
Oh, it's awesome.
Every time we have a discussion about Atmos, your eyes light up like it's Christmas.
Yeah.
And Mr. I'm about to add 2 more channels, so you're about to have 6 speakers on your.
I have the capability now to do 6, all 6. I can
That's
do 9.1.6.
I mean,
Ooh la la.
I just don't have any speakers to put up there right now. I got to figure out those 6. I need 6 Atmos speakers to put on the ceiling.
We do have a warehouse here.
That is, I think, my favorite sound that a woman has made in the last 15 years. We do have a warehouse
full of speakers.
Way to go, Ortiz.
We're about to get so many emails right now going, hey, is that girl single? Like, come on.
I know. We've got 16 viewers right now. Well, only 14 now. And they're all like, we need to know more about.
Oh my God, dude, it's Dick Long.
I know. I put that up there. I wanted you to see it.
The tripod is here.
Rick Long, known as Richard, or Dick Long the Second.
Dick Long. Dude, Dick Long and I, we go way back. We go back to like the last episode.
I bet he's got a 21-inch situation in his basement too.
I bet he does. He has to. With a name like that, like he has to have the biggest subwoofer on the planet, dude. Like,
all right, okay, let's get this in here. Let's answer some of these questions. So he asked, anyone in Tampa, Florida area that can help with what you're talking about? You guys are way out of my league. I am sure that there are a lot of folks down there that can help translate separates or Atmos, whichever one you were talking about at the time, or we were talking about at the time for you. Dude, just post up some comments in YouTube, and I'm sure we can find some folks to help. And if you're just looking for advice, we're more than happy to help out with that stuff offline too. So
actually, to be honest, go to Home Theater Fanatics. That's Giles's Facebook group, and just post up questions there, because there's over 4,000 people in that group. So somebody's going to do it. Either we are going to answer it or somebody will answer it. So that's another option you have.
Absolutely. Okay. Next, Atmos is object oriented, which frees certain sound effects from the discrete bed channels. Absolutely. And the more Atmos channels you get, I don't know. Some people say,
what Facebook user said that. That's what
I wonder if things are all the same, people. But yes, I agree. I run 4. I've never run 6 channels before. I totally want to do that, and I'm set up. All I need to do is drag more cable through the ceiling, but it's a small.
You know what's crazy? I'll give you an example of what we do down here, and you've seen it, Giles. So we run the way our ceiling works in the theater. It goes like that. So you're probably hiding some ductwork with a lower. Right. Yeah. There's air conditioning ductwork. So we have 2 in ceiling and we have 2 open baffle, and we were worried about whether that was going to cause any kind of effect or anything, but it seems to sound fine. And I ran a sweep on it, and everything seems to be, the flux capacitor is fluxing. So yeah. I mean, there's definitely creative ways that you can do open baffle, or I'm sorry, not open baffle, Atmos, and you just got to get creative with it.
Yep. Denon Cinema says, love your channel, JDM. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Glad that you like it.
You had to do it.
So not everyone can access the other side of their ceiling for Atmos. I don't have that issue, but I also don't have Atmos. Well, this goes back to the staple those damn wires to your ceiling if you have to, because it's totally worth it, and get a ceiling mount. And just actually ceiling mounts are better because you can put them on axis with your listening position. So in ceiling is the poorest option for Atmos, although it's the most aesthetically pleasing. But I plan to, when I upgrade speakers, to have on ceiling that I can put on axis with my seating. So I want to have 2 on the sides, 2 in the front at the 45-degree angle from your head, and 2 in the back at the 45-degree angle, and have Nirvana. That's the plan.
I just said LOL like 4 times.
No basements in Florida. That's why you build an addition to your home. Easy. Okay, Steve Mann, what's the best separates to go with a Denon amplifier for a good price? Steve, if you can write back with what a good price for you is, I'll let you know. Because it's all based off of you gotta know what you're going for, how many channels that you need.
Budget decides everything.
Yeah, budget will dictate. For me, I think that once you graduate from the Denons and the Marantzes and the Yamahas and the Akios and all those, your next step up is probably a Muse, because it's the right price point. You can look at a HTP1 from Monoprice in their Monolith line, but I don't know. I've never heard one play, and they're less expensive than the 3500 for the Muse. I don't know what you're going to get out of that. Emotiva has a ton of options available, but people always complain about the firmware on those. But I've not owned one, so I can't say one way or another. But yeah, so let's see. Facebook is we're gonna call you Timmy.
McCoy. Who calls you McCoy?
Nobody. Your stuff is jacked up on your end, McCoy. Is totally jacked up.
The real McCoy.
I'm not the fake one. I'm the totally real one.
I got 4 Omni mounts from Amazon and a Bolt 4 Dayton MK402s as Atmos pointed.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool.
I don't know what those things are. I don't know what the MK402s are.
I think it's those speakers I was telling you about, Giles, that Audiophiliac goes crazy about.
Oh, okay.
I think. I might be wrong. But yeah, there's a pair of bookshelves that Audiophiliac goes wild over, and they're relatively inexpensive. I think like $60-$70 for the pair. And
we need Steve to come on here and tell us all about it.
Yeah, Gutenberg needs to come on the show.
Anybody know Gutenberg?
Down.
He needs to be here because
whoever
he needs
knows
to represent.
Gutenberg, hit him up. Like, tell him get here.
Okay, all right. So we've
thank you,
Thank you, Ortizi.
Thank you, Ortizi.
Ortizi with the warehouse. All right, we're behind. We're behind schedule. It's 10:38. We're like a whole section behind right now.
Having a mild stroke right now because we're behind.
I'm a Virgo.
I can't even read my own handwriting on the next one. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Something.
Speaker placement.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So
that's what that says.
If you think about what we're doing here, we're going through an upgrade cycle of things that you can do that build upon each other to give you a better sound. So, buy your subs, get your separates, build your Atmos, but then you got to think about speaker placement. And if you're doing Atmos in particular, Dolby has a very prescriptive setup. And what I mean by prescriptive is they tell you what to do. They don't give you advice and say you might want to do this. They say your speakers should be here in your room. So they're telling you what to do, just like a prescription from a doctor, right? Dr. Atmos. And that Correct. I think is very key, because if your speakers are not located correctly, it's going to impact your soundstage all the way around and over the top in your environment, right? Mm-hmm. And you don't want your speakers too far apart, because just say if you have your fronts that are too close together, it kind of collapses that stereo image, especially if you listen to the music. So you need them spread apart. And then as you move around the room, you don't want those first sets of surrounds too far from the front. So as sounds pan from front to that first set of surrounds, you get a break there. It gets too soft and it doesn't work. So the speaker placement becomes very critical when you start moving into the larger multi-channel environments. So, I mean, it's always important, but once you get up to 9 bed channels and 6 Atmos channels, if your speakers are not in the right location, you're going to have a lot of issues.
Let me ask you a question, Giles. Let's say you're dealing with someone with an apartment. A lot of people live in apartments. So what would you recommend to them for speaker placement if they're dealing with a very, very finite amount of space. If they're, because usually a living room will hug the dining room, and then the kitchen is kind of all one room. So I know like a lot of sound might escape through that thing. It's not a sealed like home theater. What would you recommend for someone like that? Would you recommend just doing 2 fronts, 2 rears? Like, what do you think?
I would, in most cases, in that size room with restrictions that I often see for apartments, just go 5.1. I wouldn't even necessarily worry about the Atmos for that. If 5.1 experience is going to be a very nice experience, it's head and shoulders above just like a 2.1 or a 3.1 environment. You get that one set of surround speakers will change your life if you don't have them right now. And remember, they don't go behind you in a 5.1, they go off to the sides. And there's a prescriptive Dolby document that tells you how to set up 5.1 too. Now,
if you still want to get that Atmos sensation, I guess you could call it, I know Klipsch, one of many, I'm sure, speaker companies, they offer the speaker on top of the speaker,
a bouncy Atmos,
where it bounces off the ceiling and creates a kind of an Atmos feel. It's not going to be the same. Giles hates it. But
I agree with Giles.
I'm talking about someone with an apartment.
It's a trick. Don't let them steal your money. It's a trick.
It's a trap. Is it a trap?
It's a gimmick.
It's a trap.
No, how do you say it? It's a trap. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
We need to get that. We need to get that sound bite.
A trap it is.
So I mean,
trap it is.
So you're saying 5.1? Are you talking about maybe like the Lumi system that you have, or are you talking about like full blown tower speakers? Because I mean, neighbors, right?
Depends on the room. It depends on what you want to do. I mean, you can go small with like Lumis, which sound awesome. That's a 5.1 system with a little 8-inch dual passive radiator subwoofer. That's great. And I actually use that 3 of those in my living room theater. One is a center channel because I'm doing an ultra short throw projector on the floor, so I need a little tiny speaker down there, and then 2 of the satellites to surrounds. And I use that sub is under this desk right now, and the left, right are beside my monitors. Or my monitor, but that just depends on what you can get away with and how loud you can be with before your neighbors get upset.
Look at this guy, get a house, LOL.
Just buy one. Just
no, really, he's right. I mean,
do it.
If you're gonna do home theater, get a house. You're right, but I'm just saying, for the people that can't. I mean, there's millions of people live in apartments that really want a nice home theater experience. I would never probably suggest getting a sound bar or anything like that if you want.
Dude, what did you just say?
Immersive experience.
Okay, I don't know how this UI works to get rid of you, but I am straight up about to push this button.
I love how you went from soundbar to immersive experience. That was
I know all of Giles's trigger words, and that's one of them.
So triggered.
Okay, I was just joking. Don't get a soundbar. But anyway, yeah. Okay, so get a house. That's the solution. That is one way to improve your home theater, is to get a house.
That is a nice segue though into the final point, the final talking point, which is room treatments.
There we go. How do you know? How do you know? I can't even read my own, and you know more than I do.
How do you know our business?
Yeah, like Jesus.
This is weird.
Yeah, Ortizi's like one-upping me right now. You just
you know what she's gonna do? She's gonna take your job.
Bro.
Mike's like, what are you talking
There's got to be a way you can hack her camera and turn her on.
Night.
Oh my God. What did I just say?
You are so busted.
This is a PG show. PG.
No, I'm turning red.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't think hacking the camera is the right thing to do.
Over here, you're 21 inches. Over here, she's camera.
Okay, Facebook user. If you live in an apartment, wouldn't an excellent set of headphones and shakers in your furniture be a neighbor-friendly option? It would totally be a neighbor-friendly option, but it's not the experience.
I would not want to wear a pair of headphones while I'm watching a movie, though. I'd move.
Yeah, it's just I mean, you're totally right. That's great, and it would be very nice of you. But man, if I had to watch all my television and movies through headphones, I would not be happy.
Okay, Pete says treat the room.
Yes. So we'll move on. Now we're at number 5, and we are, we're right on time. 10:45, number 5. Look at that. I like it.
Dude, we're going 2 hours tonight, Giles. You don't even know.
Well, we're getting done with our schedule, on schedule. We can go as long as we want to after that. But for the listeners, we're up to 17 right now.
Look at
that might be the most ever.
Kong happy. Kong is happy.
Kong happy. I have no idea what. 18. 18.
Nope.
If we get to 20, it might be an explosive evening.
If we get to
Oh,
20,
no.
if we get to 20, Giles will give away his 21 inches downstairs to whoever wants it.
So Vicky is still watching and she's laughing at us, but she won't come on the show. I don't know.
She will. She'll come on the next one.
I know, but
I'm glad she's still here. We're that dude. We are entertaining.
She's representing from down under.
Oh my god!
I bet people from Australia
we are
hate
getting
that.
demonetized for sure now.
I bet
We are
people from
getting
Australia
demonetized
hate
for sure.
that.
Hello, Facebook user. We will call you Steve.
Hello, Steve. Welcome.
Yeah,
Welcome,
McCoy. Get
Facebook
your
user.
stuff together.
I know they're like, Giles, you're jacked up. Okay, so moving on. Yes, room treatments is our fifth option, our fifth pro tip for making your home theater better. And in my opinion, outside of your speaker choice, and I'll lump in your subwoofers there, outside of those things, the thing that you can do that most people don't do that improves your sound the most is room treatments. And this is diffusion, absorption, bass traps. And you might be like, oh, that doesn't make a difference. So it totally makes a difference. Think about a restaurant that you've gone to, that you've eaten at, and all you hear is the echo of a million different conversations. That destroys your experience. And if you get any of that in your theater room, it's bad times. So go in your room, give it some claps, and listen to see if you can hear that echo. And if you can hear some echo, then you got a problem. And room treatments are going to make a huge difference. Now, Ortiz.
Everybody asked Giles what he thinks of that foam on the wall.
Oh yeah, don't buy that. the black foam that people glue to their walls. It's like a half-inch thick.
I asked him about that the other day. He almost beat me over the head with a 2x4.
Save your money. Watch a video on how to do a DIY absorption panel.
Yeah.
Build some real absorption panels. And then, even if you just build two and put them at the main reflection points in the front of your room, or put them behind you to get rid of some of the S beer. Huge difference. Just two panels, like $50, all in, good to go. And you'll go next level. But I was going to say, Ortiz.
Yes.
I visited a location populated with a lot of Alcon's equipment called Levels are they in Burbank or Hollywood? I can't remember anymore.
I think it's in Burbank.
Yeah. And so they're a professional sound mixing organization. So if you need some real sound mixed, if you're like a pro artist and make $12 billion a year and you're dropping your next music video and you need your sound mixed, those are the folks to do it. Or you're releasing a multi-million-dollar blockbuster movie, they're the folks to do it. And these folks are using Alcons and the room treatments. So the speakers were impressive, but I was more impressed by the freaking room treatments. When I was in there and I talked,
now we know.
I sounded like a god. I mean, I sounded.
Must have been some room treatment.
Oh, hello, Amico. Welcome.
Amico.
She's up in the house.
Amico.
But I sounded like a god in those rooms, and I mean, it was. I know they probably spent $50,000 on just acoustic treatment for the studios, but man, I wish I could make my room sound like that. Oh God, it's so good.
Yeah.
Dude, we got to get Ortiz to be a part of this. So you keep talking. So Ortiz, what is your favorite type of room treatment for audio? What is your go-to? What would you put in if you could build your ultimate home theater in your house, what would you use?
I don't know. We have a lot of stuff in the warehouse that we use a lot. It's manufactured in Norway. Also,
everything from Norway is better.
It's pretty good. We also
does it come in little boxes and you have to put it all together?
Dude,
no,
it comes in big boxes and very fragile. But so at Cedia, we I don't know if you know this, Giles, and probably I don't know if anybody knows this. I'm going to tell a little secret here, but we were having a sub issue sort of because of the rooms. You know how the sound rooms on the floor are wacky, and so trying to figure out this sub issue that we were having, I went on a little tour down in the docks and brought back a roll of carpet padding that we put in the corner, a huge roll.
It's like a super ghetto bass trap.
Exactly. We didn't unroll it, nothing. Just stuck it right in the corner, covered it with some drape. Perfecto.
Oh,
That's
dude!
awesome.
Tomorrow you're gonna see people with like rolls of carpet all over their stuff, dude. Like
Everybody's gonna have pictures on Facebook. I got my bass trap.
Yeah, bass trap is
Found
here.
it on the docks.
Ortiz said it was legit. Ortiz said it was good.
This is how Alcon's audio tunes their
Alcon stages their stuff by carpet.
Oh my God, it was hours. We had this one, we have Walter who comes in from Austria, and he is so pristine and so precise about the rooms, and he just would not let this go. And so I was like, all right, we're just going to take care of this. So
you handled that business.
Here you go. Yep. There's honestly, when it comes to room treatments, it depends on the room. Period. It really depends on the room.
All right. So here we go.
Giles, we're up to 20, just to let you know.
Oh, 21.
21.
I see 20. This
Dude,
is
look at Giles' eyes light up. Look at him.
Oh man.
It's like little stars.
No, this is good. Okay. Steve. Steve says, "Hey, it's me watching on YouTube. What's up, Steve?" Then Facebook user. The room accounts for half of what you hear. I agree with that. He says, with treating his room right, he's very kind to his room. Treats it right. It makes everything sound excellent. Emiko.
Flowers.
Emiko's joined. I like that thumbnail. That's a nice dress.
Beautiful.
Nice. She, if you don't know Emiko, she runs the show, or the talk for the show, which is the home entertainment show that's in Southern California, Long Beach, I think. And she is a professional musician and represents about 150 different products and brands. And she's working on a new album, I think, that drops like
soon.
Like really? Now or like a week ago or something. I think I'm behind the times. Emiko, you should drop a comment down and let us
drop a link.
We need a link, totally.
Yeah, we need a link.
She's also a pro audio aficionado, and
still married.
She loves pro audio.
Yeah, she'll throw out all kinds of speaker names that you've never heard of before, and then you'll feel kind of like,
Ortiz, I don't speak for yourself, bro.
I wasn't talking to Ortiz. I was talking to the public.
Ortiz like, me and Emiko are gonna talk things up here,
right?
Okay, so what is rock wool? Facebook user rock wool.
That's like a new type of rock that it's
made out of wool.
No, it's like music rock wool.
No, oh my god!
Use it in hydroponics.
She's like, I grow my weed in it.
Nah, I grow my spinach in it.
Her spinach, papa. No, rock wool is insulation.
Okay.
Yeah, so most absorption is made with insulation.
Cool.
Yeah. So like a Sound and Secure, I think that's what one of them is, Secure and something like that.
It's stone insulation. There you go.
But it's not really
Facebook user. What is your name so I don't call you Facebook user?
No, there's a lot of Facebook users. It's not just one.
I want to know rock wool. I want to know his name or her name.
We are anonymous.
Okay, Emiko, next month your stuff's gonna be coming out. Awesome. Rick, what can I use to treat tile floor? Have dogs, so carpet's out.
Carpet is usually rugs.
Carpet,
yeah, rugs. I mean, just put a rug down.
Yeah.
Get a rug that's not expensive. That when the dogs destroy it, you can buy another one.
You roll it and unroll it.
Get rid of the dogs. There you go.
No, another reason, dude. Right? I've got so many reasons to get rid of Mike right now.
I know.
So many.
You don't have any dogs, Giles. Be quiet.
I don't. I'm allergic to them, but if I had one, I wouldn't throw it out for a carpet.
I would throw it out for room treatment. Heck yeah.
Well, maybe.
A barking dog or a nice home theater. That sounds good.
Actually, this is what you do.
A la puerta.
He doesn't have enough dogs. What he needs is like 30. And then they just lay on the floor.
Yep. There you go.
Oh, so dude, it's Dan Wiggins. He was trolling us the whole time.
Is it really?
It's Dan, yeah. Dan, thank you for being on the show.
Oh, there he is. And we were talking, man, we were kissing your butt and
we were actually
there. That's not cool. You can't let us do that kind of stuff when you're
hanging. Yeah, you can't do that, dude. That's not cool. Miami in the house. Wasn't someone asking about Florida stuff? Wasn't someone from earlier?
Yeah, no, that was Dick Long II. He's in Tampa.
Okay,
right?
Dick and Nick, you guys get together because Dick has some questions for you in Miami. There
Straight
you go.
up. And I
we
love
just matched this. It's 3 dogs and a Rottweiler should bite you for that.
you know what? Rottweilers are sweet little babies.
They are.
Sweet little babies. Oh, okay. All right. How are we doing on? Oh, that was number 5. So we're good.
Dude.
Okay,
We
so
done.
let's close out the general discussion for the video, and then we can just do other stuff afterwards. But just to wrap up our agenda for the night, the 5 top things that you can do to improve your home theater. We started out with
multiple subs,
multiple subwoofers.
Then we did separates,
and we move away from an AVR by a separate pre-pro processor and amplification. Right from there, we went to add your Atmos. Am I right?
Yep. Atmos.
Yes.
All right. There we go. I gotta look at my notes. I'm old now. I have to do this only.
Dude, if you have any questions, or TT knows our schedule, tit for tat, man.
You know what? She's good at running people.
She's coming on my show. I don't care.
She will tell you what to do.
I'm bringing her on.
And
Atmos, stay after the show because I need your email.
After Atmos comes the speaker placement, right? See how these build upon each other, right? Get those subs, get those separates. Once you got those separates, you got more channels. You can do your Atmos. Once you got those Atmos speakers, got to make sure you put everything in the right place, and then from there, the cherry on top. But it's not really a cherry on top. It's really the foundation that you build everything on. And I can't stress that enough. If you're not looking and thinking about room treatments, you've missed a significant step in your home theater build. You're
doing it wrong if you don't have room treatments.
Pretty much. And I don't have any right now, and I'm totally doing it wrong because I keep looking at them.
Like I
know I'm full of crap. But I keep looking at the cost, and I'm like, oh, I want to get some, but because I don't really want to build them, but I should. But I look at it and I'm like, oh, for that $500, I could buy this cool little gadget that I want. And so I keep putting it off. But that is really the thing that would take my theater to, like, not the next level, but probably the next level after that.
Dude, easy fix, bro. Tomorrow I show up with a roll of carpet. We're good.
Carpet padding. It has to be carpet padding.
Carpet padding. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll just start stapling that to the wall and everything, dude.
That's like that black foam that you like so much.
Oh my God! Shut up about the black foam.
Go to Mike's house, you're gonna see black foam on the wall.
It's maroon too. There's black and maroon.
Color coordinated.
You'll see it when I do the home theater tour next, or whenever I end up doing it.
Cool.
Right on. So, okay, well, that closes that. Anybody have any questions for us? Let's take some questions from the 18 people that are left.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to actually come on the show, let us know. We'll bring you in. This is where we just turn into a party.
Dude, Bass Therapy missed out, dude. He misses all.
He did. Spare Change missed out tonight.
Dick's here, though. Dick Long.
Miko doesn't want to come on the show, I guess.
Miko. I haven't sent anybody any links. I'm sorry. I'm horrible. I thought you were doing links.
No, I've been talking too much.
Yeah, you have. So, Pauline, let's talk. You and I. Let's leave him out of it. Dude, go back. I swear to God. I will never do a show. Actually, I can control it.
Oh, you can. Damn it. You got the power.
There we go. That's what I like.
All right.
Okay.
That does look good.
See, Ortiz, just a little bit of power controls him. All right. So, okay, Ortiz, what's up? Tell us something about Alcons. What can you tell everybody about Alcons? Something special.
Besides our pro ribbon drivers, because that's pretty much our. That's
you guys make
right there.
Stuff though. Like what I heard, I don't know, dude. I was in another world when I heard your guys' system at CEDIA. So, I mean, dude, it was.
Well, I came into the pro audio world straight into Alcons, which is kind of similar as to how I came into the motorcycle industry. Before this, I went work.
Biker chick, by the way.
Yeah,
you're a biker chick.
Yeah, I was a photojournalist for Easy Riders magazine for 5 years.
She's legit.
So I just went like straight to the top. of Easy Riders, and then, you know, like best in the business, and then in the pro audio world, straight to Alcons, which kind of was difficult because now immediately I can't go to a show, I can't go to a theater, I can't go anywhere and just enjoy it anymore. I'm like an audiophile instantly, you know what I mean? Because I can hear everything. I hear all the problems. And most of the problem is what I'm not hearing, honestly, or it's just straight distortion. So
Right.
it's kind of a blessing and a curse to be around such hi-fi stuff. It's amazing. I'm so blessed to work for a Dutch company. They are family. They're phenomenal. They really are.
Where's the headquarters at?
Pardon me?
Where's the headquarters?
In the Netherlands.
I know.
Zvag.
In Prague?
Zvag.
Zvag. I was going to say Prague's not in the Netherlands.
Yeah, no.
Prague.
It's north of Amsterdam.
Hey, we have a question from Melbourne Hi-Fi Chick. I'll let you handle this, John.
Oh, I think it's more of it's a comment and a question. If your room is small, acoustic treatment can take up quite a bit of room, maybe. So would there be anything else you recommend as a quick fix for small room treatment? Nope. Do the treatments. Just take your medicine and do it.
Well, there's that.
I mean, there's
no solution.
You can do less treatments. You don't have to do a lot. You don't have to cover everything. But okay, the first thing, the easy thing, your floor.
Yep.
If you have a hardwood floor, or marble or tile or whatever, right? Put a rug down. That is the biggest first step that you can take to treating your room. Do that first. Beyond that, a couple of absorbers kind of to your, and you need to do a little research, but kind of at the main reflection point from your main speakers, your left, right, are important. And then some absorption or diffusion behind you to keep that, you know, your center channel from bouncing back directly. Those are the things to do. If you can't do anything else, put in those two absorber or diffusion behind you and a rug on the floor. Right.
But Giles, don't they have like artwork now that looks like artwork, but it's actually like some kind of room treatment?
Yeah. So the treatments are just like cloth over a frame with insulation inside of it that's gapped off the wall a little bit. So that cloth, as long as it's AT cloth, acoustically transparent cloth, you can have it look like anything you want to. So a lot of people, if they're like in a living room and they're treating their living room, they'll have it look like a painting or something like that. And then folks like in theaters, they'll do like Marvel movie posters and stuff like that. I just want mine to be black. I just want black panels.
His room is white, so it's going to stick out like a sore thumb unless he paints it.
That might be kind of cool, actually. Contrast is good.
It'll be the white stripes room.
Mm.
Right on.
Okay, Facebook
user.
Have you heard of OSD?
We bequeath the name of Johnson upon you. Johnson says, is the OSD the amp manufacturer that Life of Bliss just did a review on? He had that like it's like a 500-pound amplifier that's 11 channels, and it's like
500-pound amplifier.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's huge. It's like made out of a block of metal. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. It's not reasonable to me, right? Because you need like 4 people to move this thing into your rack, and it has to be like on the bottom of the rack, and it'll probably bend your, I don't know. It's crazy. But I've never heard an OSD amp myself that I can think of. I don't know that I've ever seen one. I'm trying to think back to shows. I don't think I've seen one I don't think I've ever seen one before.
It doesn't sound like they travel well.
I don't travel.
No, not 500 pounds. I mean, I thought the Monolith was crazy at like, what was it, 80 or 100 pounds or something like that?
Oh no, this thing's a whole different league.
Yeah, this is nuts, dude. This is
a different league.
What are you trying to power, Facebook user? The house?
Well, no, it's probably not what I'm thinking of. It's probably something different. I'm probably just wrong about that. But Life of Bliss did a review video on it. 5-channel beast. Yeah, 5 channels are awesome. That's cool. Yeah, I'm sure it's a solid amp. I've never heard one before. I would love to hear one. OSD, if you're out there, tell us where you got some gear at so we can listen to it.
Yeah, just go get what do you call those things? Bulldozer to get it.
Oh, if it's
a pallet, one of those pallet things.
A pallet jack, like an engine lifter. You need one of those cranes to get it into your rack. You know, you pull the chains and it goes.
I can only imagine you too, you struggling in your rack, like, because you already struggle because you're kind of at a 90-degree angle when you're trying to put things in. So I can only imagine you trying to carry a 500-pound amp into that rack. Oh my god!
Well, you know that A7 I've got weighs 140 pounds.
Does it really?
Uh-huh.
I've never
It's
looked
like the sides and top and everything are sheet metal or
I know it was
whatever it is.
big. I just didn't know it was that big.
Yeah. Oh, now see Facebook user. I think this is still Johnson powering his 5 M&K speakers and M&K. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff right there. That's good.
They make some nice architectural speakers, don't they? In walls.
They
make everything.
And they also make they make that form factor that I kind of like. It's like a square, and then it's got like 3 tweeters or mid ranges, and then like 2 5 1/4 or 6 1/2 on the side. It's like 5 speakers. I've always thought that looked really cool.
Right.
750 THX. Maybe that's the exact speakers that I'm thinking of. I'm not sure. I'd have to Google it and look at photos, but I really do like that.
Right on.
Oh, we lost Ortiz.
Ortiz said peace.
She's like, I'm not even going to say goodbye.
All right, man. Well, I think if anybody else has any questions, we could wrap up. But
yeah, I think we've covered everything and flogged this horse till it's dead.
The horse is dead for sure.
It's super dead.
Like it's.
And it's not like we're getting paid by the minute here.
I wish we were. I'd be going for like 8 hours straight.
Oh, Nick is talking my language for a second here. I'm about to upgrade to GSG subs, which would be better for mini monitor 18s or 2 Devastator 21s. Room size is 1912 by 8.
That's about your size room, isn't it?
Mine's 14 foot 4 inches by 14 foot some number of inches, and being square sucks.
Do 118 and 121.
Why not just do all 6?
Yeah, the hell with
it. So the Devastator is like a whole different kind of thing, right? I mean, that's a crazy subwoofer. And right now, all I've got in my room is a Devastator from GSG and then a Marty Cube from GSG. And that's a lot of bass. That is a lot of bass. I would recommend that you have some number of subwoofers near field behind your sofa. That's going to give you that tactile feel without having to resort to bass shakers and butt shakers and that kind of stuff. The 21 Devastator is a very muscular subwoofer. It's a very powerful. It's got a ton of mid bass. It will slap you around like a little girl. So I don't know if you could do like 2 18 mini Martys or Marty Cubes rather behind your sofa and then get a shoehorn that 21 inch in somewhere. That would be pretty awesome. But
yeah, I think the 21-inch Devastator is awesome. But like you said, it's muscular.
It is, and it's big.
It beats you up, Like I don't know. I don't know if I could. How do you feel? Because I only heard it for 25 seconds. So when you're watching a movie, do you ever kind of have to turn it down? Do you ever get kind of worn out by it, or is it something?
I keep it turned down all the time. It's way more basic.
So it's something you can't really have, at a certain level all the time because you just get kind of.
Yeah, well, you have to tune your room. No matter how many subwoofers you have, you got to unless you're just trying to do some SPL stuff, right? Which is totally cool. But if you're just watching a movie, your subwoofers have to fit in with the rest of your system so that it just doesn't overpower everything, right? You want to have good dynamic response all the way across the subwoofer frequency range. And Oh, good show, guys. Good night. Good night. Good
night, Facebook.
That's probably Dan. Good night, good sir. I would totally do. I would do 2 18s and a 21. Put 2 18s and Marty Cubes behind your sofa. Stick the 21 somewhere else in your room, and
he's got some space. So yeah,
you could do 2 rows in that room easy.
I mean, it depends on what you really want to go after, but it looks like you're talking 18s and 21, so it looks like you want some big bass in there. So yeah. 2 18s and a 21 would be more than enough, I would say, but I don't know. It depends. Like I said, it just depends. But yeah, 21 behind you, 2 18s in front of you. There's not going to be an inch of that room.
And just because you start with an 18 and a 21 doesn't mean you can't add more later. Just buy more. Start out and be like, nah, I'm not happy. I need more. Get more. I'm not happy. That's what I continually do.
You know what I see you doing, Giles? I see you creating this out of GSG subs. I see you creating. You know how Rel had the tower at RMAF?
Yeah.
I see you creating an 18-inch tower of that.
Well, I'm going to do two. So I'm going to stack those. So I have that second Marty cube in the garage now. It's glued, but I need to sand it and paint it and install the sub. But I'm going to take that downstairs and I'm going to stack those two Marty cubes and
I got to come over.
Yeah, acoustically couple them.
I got to come over and check that out
because I can just go high. But really, what I want to do is put two 18s or two 21s or something behind my screen and just clean the floor up. I mean, I really want to just get stuff off the floor and just make the room feel more spacious.
Dude, I haven't heard your system since you got the separates.
Yeah, no, you have it's complete. It's like 100% better than it was last time.
Is it night and day?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Night and day different. And I've got that. I've got the Stark Sound A7, and then I also have the M8 in there now too, from Acurus, which is really cool.
If you haven't seen it, there's a video that he has on JDM World that shows you what he did with that. So
the install of the Muse.
Yeah.
So I've got like an unboxing and an install, and then a setup. The Muse has gained a lot of popularity recently. It's a really cool processor.
Acurus has a great product. You know, I think it's good stuff.
I'm not sad about having it.
Mm.
I ain't mad.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us. I know we're talking on like 5 different platforms right now, but I hope you found it funny, entertaining, and educational.
I'm just glad they showed up.
Lost internet at my Ortiz.
Oh, look, you can see what she looks like.
Oh,
we have your photo. Ha ha.
Des.
Oh,
Now you
why won't you come on the show, Des? We'll go for another 10 minutes if you'll come on the show.
Yeah, we
come
can talk
on the show.
Yeah,
no,
dude.
not. Oh, come on.
Des is over it.
He is over it. He's oh man. Come on, Des.
Kyle, here we go. Kyle's coming in. What would be a good upgrade for Rick Long? Oh my God. Okay. Once Kyle shows up, you know the party's over.
Yeah. We're just like, oh God, Kyle.
Oh, yeah, Kyle. Kyle's
not good, man. Not good. We just, oh man. So just so folks know, Des is a baller audiophile and he works for Stark Sound and he is I don't know what your title is, Des. Like universal master of all cells for the world or something.
Des is the badass. Yeah,
I think so. And he I talk with him via email and stuff, and he slaps me around from time to time.
He does.
He does.
He puts you in your place.
He does. I feel subjugated by him sometimes. But he, if you guys like good speakers, he is a guy to talk to because he is like a crack dealer. He's got that good stuff. Got that real good stuff. Yeah, we know Kyle suffers from a lack of self-control.
Kyle has Tourette's.
Man, that would probably actually be better for Kyle. I don't know what you got, Kyle, but you got something.
Kyle's got Tourette's.
All right. We're killing this thing, man. We got to go.
Thank you so much for listening. As always, if you enjoyed the show, whatever you're listening on, smash that like button, subscribe to every single channel we are streaming from, and ring the bell. So every time we do this, because we might do this every day if we want to, we don't care.
We could. We're going to come up with a real schedule though.
Yeah.
And so we'll talk about that after. Like a couple of these a week or something that we will always do. And then we'll have extra ones.
Thank you.
Ortiz, we're glad to have you on too. Next time, we're not going to let you on if you don't turn your camera on because I feel it's unfair that we have to have ours on.
Yeah.
You don't have yours on.
Very disrespectful, Ortiz.
It did hurt my feelings. It was a kind of action that you took against us.
Yeah. New topic tomorrow.
So
the hell with it. Let's do another one tomorrow. Hey, what do you guys want to hear about tomorrow? Dick Long decide.
Post.
You decide our thing tomorrow. What do you want us to hear us say?
Especially topics that make good keyword search items in YouTube.
Because we want to grow. If any of you haven't or hear from Giles's stuff, I'm available at Audio Arkitekts on YouTube and Instagram. Spelled funny though. Where did my name thing go?
Oh, I've got Ortiz up there. Yeah.
There you go. Spelled like that. Go visit that. And if you're here on from my channel, go check. I wish I could point into your screen. That'd be awesome.
That would be horrible. I'm going to get a little arm that I can just
go
hold up, do like
go over to JDM World. Here. Follow my finger and then go to your JDM World. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Come on. Help me out here.
Yeah. You want
yeah. Ready. Okay. So go to JDM World. No.
You wanted.
Yeah. Go that way. Okay. So I'm going this way.
Yeah.
You're going the other way. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Go to JDM World.
That's horrible.
So visit JDM World, visit Audio Arkitekts, like and subscribe. Thank you, Steve Mann. Thank you, Denon Cinema. Can you talk about Odyssey Editor app?
Yeah, that's the one that you can install on your iPad, right? I've got that downloaded. I've not used it a lot, but we can totally talk about it. We'll figure it out.
We'll talk about it.
We'll become experts.
DIY mid-range drivers. We could totally talk about that. I'm actually going to be building a DIY bookshelf speaker soon. So actually, Kyle, we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about DIY stuff. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Odyssey app gave me different results than REW. Okay, we can talk about that too. If Kyle,
I blame Odyssey.
If Kyle can behave, maybe we can have him on the show.
I don't. That's
dangerous. It's risky business, but
I mean, he's going to get us demonetized.
He will. We'll have to bleep him out. We'll have to add the bleeps. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. And Giles, as always, it's a pleasure to do.
Absolutely. Good times. Good stuff.
Yeah, man. You're the best co-host I've ever worked with, and we're going to be doing this. And if you guys haven't seen, we did a podcast today on Orb Audio. So if you check that out on the Power of Sound. So we got a ton of stuff. You can see it all in the description below.
Right on. Thanks, Mike. Peace out, everybody.
Thank you, guys.